Greetings, mortals. I am Natas, the ruler of the underworld, and today we are finally finishing the first half of my Inmates in Hell discussion series on the Beast Pirates. AKA, we are finally tackling Black Maria, the final one of them. So, yeah, let's begin chronologically with Black Maria. We first find out about Black Maria, we first meet Black Maria when we meet the rest of when we meet the rest of Toby Roper in their introduction panel and react to the Queen, and she's not really taking sides there when characters like jabbing at each other and insulting. She's more like, "Ooh, this will be interesting. Do you perhaps think you will be the next?" She's kind of like, teasing. She's kind of, she's seductive kind of thing, as you could probably tell by her, what's they called? Oil? No. Whatever that word, for the, not geishas. Whatever that word for, no, I know it's like I said, like, whatever that word is for, the night, lady of the night in Japan. She's one of those. I think it is oil though. But regardless, she's that, and, you can kind of see it. Yeah, and then in the story we have her also in the meeting, but unlike the other characters who at least go outside to kind of look for Yamato for half of them, Black Maria instead decides to stay with Kaido because she wants to be with him and not waste her time on chasing Yamato. I also kind of feel like she might know that she can't capture Yamato because from what we gotta see of Yamato throughout the arc, I kind of get the vibes that she's aware of her inability because she's more of a trickster. She's not. The thing is, she does have a higher bounty than Sasaki, but that higher bounty could be more related to her trickery than physical combat. And physically, I don't think she knows that she can beat Yamato because it's just like she can only trap her at best. But yeah, Kaido is fine with her. Enjoy a bite with him, so she is there. And then we get this weird little scene where Momonosuke gets blinded by Kanjuro. And she's like, "Oh, poor little boy." She puts him on her lap. Despite, what we're gonna find out of Black Maria later, it's kind of a weird thing. Like, maybe she was supposed to be a nicer character at the beginning, but then Oda, throughout the war, decided to kind of simplify it and just decided to have her be more sadistic. But I don't know, maybe it's similar to Big Mom where the maternal instinct or something is higher. Or maybe it's more it's comical or something. But regardless, she's there. She's a little shocked when Orochi just grabs her out of her lap. And then they just, have the whole meeting. Well, they have the whole announcement in the Grand Hall and all. But she, at that time, just, I think, moves to a different quarters. I don't think it's her main place because we have the characters going past her night area, the place with ladies of the night are staying at her quarters, and I believe that's before the entrance to the main place in Onigashima, while she's in I think the third floor or something. She's there with some of her clique of characters, her version of the Cat Cafe and heavy armor unit. She with her who are all based off of Japanese yokai, or you can tell they have 8 and smile fruits that makes them look like yokai from Japanese lore. And they, at the beginning, again, have this little sing and, having fun kind of situation, kind of hiding. I also imagine that this is, again, the reason why she didn't go against Yamato, because her strength is kind of more, again, deceitful. And she uses that opportunity in the chaos to kind of lure Samurai and all those characters to their place so she can get the drop on them. And she does that on Sanji when she has one of her girls, I believe the one that was the teacher in the beginning of Wano. She has her and one of her male subordinates doing a little assault scene for Sanji to show her being a hero, but it's a trap, and they capture him. And Sanji versus women is not a good option because Sanji is not gonna harm the lady, despite them being evil and being way, way weaker. Khalifa situation, anyone. And then now the thing is, Black Maria is a little bit smarter as well, which makes again reason why I think her bounty is higher than Sasaki. when it comes to this situation and is aware of how useful Nico Robin could be to Kaido. So she tries to force Sanji to tell them, and she tortures him We'll get into it on this more into detail in the attacks and fighting skills and stuff. But she tortures him, and then Sanji, uh, just asks for help because why wouldn't he? He trusts Robin to be able to beat her. He knows he's useless against women. So he just exposes it. Like, there's a little bit of a joke at the beginning how he's first refusing, but then just admits to it. Like, come help me, because I can't deal with a woman. I cannot deal with women, if I can punch them. Because, again, like, it's saying even that Sanji knocked out some of the male ones as he was being restrained and captured and all that. So, yeah. At that point, Nico Robin shows up and just, like, slaps Black Maria all the way. Like, that's kind of thing. She, like, slaps Black Maria multiple times. And Brook as well to deal with the clique, because the clique is there for some reason. As then Black Maria, like, disrobes, and she has, like, those bandages around her. Don't worry, it's not... Actually, I think the first time that she disrobes, it looks like she's completely bare, but then she has, like, those bandages around her back. To, not to be PG-13. Well, PG-13, that's the rating for if you show nipples, right? Yeah, does that protection, and then she starts fighting using hallucinogen, as well as her clique pretending to be some other people, and she does that on Nico Robin to think the Soul and a few of her cliques are Nico Olivia and Dr. I believe it's Dr. Clover or something, or Professor Clover. As then Nico Robin just uses her flowers to like knock the clique, as well as one of the numbers. I guess one of those numbers was there as well. I don't know where it was she had beforehand. Like, that was just kind of random where they were placed, honestly. As then she knocks down, it kind of gets a bit more personal. As then they begin their fight, and we also see that Black Maria has the one thing where like one person ate a smile fruit and the entire body became that of a dog except for the hat. And they had like this little mechanism in that weapon that Black Maria had where they could set fire, and she used that, but Brook just phrases the fire over, so it's not a big deal. And during the fight, Black Maria also insults Robin and says to her that she's useless. The only thing anyone would need her is your mind. Like, I can break your arms, I can rip your legs. It does not matter because as long as you're able to translate the poneglyphs, it's fine for Kaido situation. Which is, again, I feel like it's kind of supposed to be foreshadowing for how Black Maria gets taken down later. As then Nico Robin reveals that one of the new transformations, the giant one that everyone was kind of thinking, but then after the fight becomes more serious and more like, kind of more dire. Like, out of all the fights, this is probably like the most dire from the Toby Roadpool fights for the Strayeds, because the rest, again, Page 1 and Ulti can barely be considered a fight. Sasaki, Frankie is fine. Frankie Shogun is destroyed, but Frankie himself is completely fine. Like, Frankie literally defeats Sasaki after he escapes the robot. It's not even a fight. Who gets demolished, and X-Drake is not even a Toby robot anymore. So, yeah, this is easily like the one that's the most developed, as well as the fact this is and also the fact this is, I also believe, 2 chapters, the longest, because we actually have like 2 chapters back to back focusing this fight. But yeah, anyways, Nico Robin then reveals her devil form, she transforms, I think, into a giant devil form of herself. I don't know. In the anime, they made it even more look like a demonic creature. But in the anime, so I'm not entirely certain what it is. I don't even think it was properly explained. I mean, I don't remember anyone like. I mean, it might be forgetting a proper explanation, but I don't think anyone there actually is the explanation of what that thing is. Maybe I should check the wiki later. But regardless, she turns into a giant devil form, as then she just spurts giant hands all over the place, until she, in her devil form, grabs Black Maria, traps her in a spiral form, as then she clutches her, as she puts her Black Maria's entire body on top of her knee, and it like snaps it in two, and most likely paralyzes Black Maria from her entire spinal cord. Because it's even mentioned that like the scream, and that actually gets the attention of all the cliques members from Black Maria as they come checking out what the heck that scream was. Which I do think in the anime they do it justice when Black Maria screams. And they check and they see Black Maria defeated, and Brook just defeats all those. But regardless, at that point, Black Maria is knocked out, and yeah, it's over at that point. Guys, the man also she has like the weakest defense of all the characters because again, it was like just a normal clutch. Well, okay, yeah, it was a giant devil creature clutch, but you know, Black Robin has used clutches on normal people as beforehand. It was just effective against Black Maria there. Like maybe because he was a more physical body, but because Black Maria was defeated and she was unconscious for the entire arc, probably paralyzed from the waist down, going kind of a comical punishment for what she said to Robin about, we don't need your, no one needs your limbs, so I'll just rip them. But in this case, it's no one, well, let's be honest with you, no one needs Black Maria's limbs because now you're also paralyzed. We're gonna see how much that sticks because the Zoans are supposed to have very good regenerative capabilities, so I'm assuming maybe it could come back, but we don't know exactly. And then and then that's the last time we see her. Again, like the rest of Toby Oppo, it's a bit of a question of what happened to her exactly. Like, is she in prison somewhere in Wano? Was she burned alive? I think of all the Toby Oppo, she was the closest to fire. Although maybe the fire was already cooled down because of Brook, because again, he used this ice multiple times. But again, it's not really clear what happened to them. Like, we don't see them in Udon. Like, it honestly seems like the only reason we saw King and Queen in Udon is because after they got defeated, they recovered enough and went to Udon because they knew there was a closest base or something. Again, it's kind of difficult to say what exactly is happening. Kind of surprised again, no one has asked Oda what happened to the Black Beast Pirates in SPS because I think the last time, because I do think like we have like what? I mean, alright, maybe not volume, like what we are in volume 105 or something. I don't know. I feel like someone should probably ask them at some point. I'm assuming at least someone's going to ask them if we don't get our cover story or something on them. But to be fair, I don't think people aren't weirdly enough ask a lot of Oda about where some characters are, the villains that were defeated. But regardless, that's the last time we see her. So yeah. Now let's go into Black Maria's design. Black Maria is based off of based it's very much Japanese based, and we even find out later that she's in Wano, which was kind of surprising at first because it said that all the Tobiropo were captains, yet only two of them actually seem to have been captains in amongst the Tobiropo. But you guys, Black Maria was in Wano, and apparently she was naturally born like weird only creature because she had. It's at least very much shown that she had horns from birth, and she might have also been very large. Not certain if she was a part of the Beast Pirates during that time period with Oda and all that because she's 28 and she is she would be 8 years old, so maybe she joined afterwards. It is, I believe it is kind of implied that Black Maria had more of an influence in Wano because I believe when they were doing the end of the arc, they were kind of talking. They defeated all of these big names and all that. I believe there is an epithet that sounds similar to Black Maria, but that could just be a translation issue. But I think there's something that could be referring to Black Maria along those epithet lines when they were talking about the feats of Beast Pirates. I kind of feel like she might have been. I mean, to be fair, there are like 5 areas, I believe 5 countries. Well, the one was divided into I think 6 spots: Flower Capital, Udon, Kibi, Dango, and I think 2 more. So maybe we assume Flower was Kurochi's. Kibi I think was Jax. Udon was Queen. So you do have. Was it 3 more? Okay, I think that there is not enough people that can be in charge of each region with just using the All Stars. So there has to be at least one Tobiopo or 2 who've ruled over the other 2 areas. So I imagine Magna might have been one of those. I don't know. I don't think it's ever directly said. It's just speculation. But regardless, Black Mirror is a very Japanese attire, and that's more natural because she actually is from Wano, unlike Sasaki, who just happens to dress up like a Yakuza guy from Wano. Now another thing is she's also very tall, so giant zombie mommy situation going on. Who would win between Black Maria and Sister Gigant? Probably gonna definitely going to ask this in a poll. You say your thoughts in that poll, express your thoughts in this battle in that poll, and try to be mature about it. But yeah, and then but yeah, Black Maria's kimono is also black with a few yellow and blue flowers, and then and then her Zoan transformation is that of a giant spider, but it's not a regular spider or well. Alright, so Oda reveals to us in an SPS when people ask about Black Maria's transformation, and that's like the way that Zoans have always looked in One Piece, that isn't a definitive look for them. Like, like people can pick a different form of a Zoan. Like they can just have lower limbs be the body of an animal, and then their upper limbs normal. Like they can be centaurs if they want, which kind of makes speed this smart kind of look worthless because it's not even like a real. Because that could be literally any horse user. But regardless, that's not definitive. Black Maria just instead of going hybrid, being like have multiple limbs and be hairy and maybe have like a spider's mouth, and then just go full giant spider. She prefers to take like transform her legs into a giant spider, and that's the way she prefers to fight it. I imagine it's more like it would be probably easier to move that one Yudo, though, if she had lower limbs because otherwise the multiple bandages would kind of get in the way, or maybe it would make kind of difficult to use something. It would be probably easy, is my guess at least, to use or something like that. Which I kind of feel like Oda has kind of been trying to rectify that, or maybe it was more that he didn't realize that he didn't show that beforehand. Because Jack later in his hybrid form has a similar thing, with the only difference is the fact that he gets his elephant, he gets the mammoth trunk, I believe it's called, as well, because he also transforms his legs into a mammoth's body. And Saturn, currently in the story, also in his hybrid form, has his similar thing with Black Maria, except we don't see the mouth of the spider. So yeah, that's kind of the situation going on with Black Maria here with her Zoan transformation. And the spider is kind of more goofy because it has like a goofy little face, and no, it's not that serious. Like it's not an actual like Aragog or Shelob situation, which is kind of disappointing. But like yeah, One Piece is more goofy. It's not supposed to be horrific. Or it's not. Well, it's not supposed to be in our current story horrific. So yeah, that's it for design. Now on to Black Maria's fighting style. Like I said multiple times, she's a trickster, so she uses a lot of like poisons, hallucinogens, and generally stuff. She also uses the webs from her Zoan to like trap people and make them helpless. For her beat downs, which are either her main weapons seem to be one Yudo pull arm weapon with fire and all that, where she probably just clubs you if she chops you and then burns you to ash. And she also puts, I believe, some very the name is black is escaping me right now, but she puts some kind of adhesive to like increase the flame and make flame on everything. It makes the entire flame place even more increasing fire in which is in the Anguishim might be a bit of a problem if you ask me, but that's how she rolls. So she does that. So she uses that in her fight. So she uses that in her fight, and another thing is she uses, which is again one of those Oda's really doesn't know how to use hockey situations where she puts brass knuckles on her fists to like punch whichever she wants to go. Because one of the things that Black Maria likes very much is like she's very much a box. Like she can seduce anyone as much as she wants, but when it comes down to it, she's a fighter at heart. It's even like, well, I think she even likes it. I mean, she just said one of her likes is boxing, so she uses breast knuckles to punch you. Which again, you have to wonder why doesn't she use arm and hockey? Because I believe it was there in a Viva card that she can use arm and hockey, which implies that if she is using breast knuckles, her arm and hockey would be really, really fucking weak. which kind of just feels like it was made there so Robin could physically damage Black Maria, because at that point I don't see why Black Maria would just use arm and hook at her spine at least, so her back wouldn't break. Especially considering the fact, she's physically, well, defensively has like the weakest Zoan, because they also have like dinosaurs, but she has a spider, so why exactly? But regardless, it's just how it's done. It's again, all the public, again, it's one of those things where Hawk just runs anything. But regardless, that's her flying style. And that's pretty much it for the flying style. Onto Black Maria's personality. Again, she's a seductive character. Like first, she was appeared to be a bit more nicer amongst the Toby Ropo, but that could again be like more of a facade. Like she acts like a nice Toby Ropo, so she could then have an easy time trapping you, and then revealing her true nasty personality, where she beats you to a blind pole with brass knuckles. Maybe you can make as the reason she doesn't use arm and hockey is because then it would be too quick or something. But regardless, she's also one of the more intelligent Toby Rope. Well, like not saying that the others are dumb, but or operating on the highest level of intelligence on the other ones. Even one of them is a former CP9 agent. He's not really that intelligent. So Toby Black Mirror's again like one of the more intelligent. So she's one of the more intelligent members, knowing the exact operation instance, and also when. She was the only kind of free Toby Rope because Sanji wasn't exactly going to be able to escape. She got volunteered herself if she should go take down the Red Nine Scabbards, but Jack tells her that Amir Tobiopo cannot defeat the Scabbard, so he goes there to defeat them himself. So Blackmore just kind of stays there, and that's kind of forgotten. Like, that's pretty much it for Black. And yeah, that's pretty much it for her personality. Like, I'm trying to remember if there's like any kind of bigger moments I'm kind of forgetting with Black Mirror, but I think I mentioned all of them so far. So yeah. Now on to the future of the story. Again, she's one of those again like iffy. I could see her being back, but I could also just see it be like or I could see her just being revealed. Like we see her just like in a prison in Udon, well, in one of in the Flower Capital. I could see her just being like in prison there because they do have a prison, so I could see her be like kind of there, being completely immobilized from the waist up because Robin broke it. So it's kind of like one of those. So we kind of see her there, but the other ones are the ones we focus on, like just to like see this is where they were kind of situation. Like I don't really think there's anything that would say that she would be dead because not like who's who, it's not that big of a deal because it's not the CP9 man, no CP Al and it's just like saying they need you killed Black Maria, but I could see Black Maria being in prison there, especially since like you could kind of say that because she's 28 and she lived during Uzumi and all that period. I imagine that some of the samurai some of the ninja and samurai who were loyal to Orochi and Khan and all that are gonna kind of get like pardons or are gonna be able to make up for their crimes because like the ones who are the ones who are below a certain age, like I believe one of the ninjas is Kome, who I think is like 16 or something. Like I think she's not, I mean she's a bit. I think she's 16 or something. Where the age where she lived during the entire period where Oden's where the propaganda was the strongest. So to her, it is more natural. But Black Maria was 8 when that whole thing started, so I kind of question how much she can use that as an excuse, and the fact that she joined Beast Pirates. It's not like again. I feel like there will be pardons, there will be forgiveness. You will have to make up for your sins. Like again, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the younger members who worked for Orochi are gonna be like, you can stay. You just you gotta have to work to make up for your sins. So I could see that happening with some, but I don't think Black Maria can use that excuse because she worked for Kaido. And that's really it. I do want to see her more for her, but I kind of don't feel like we would. Maybe like a off-panel mention. Maybe like we're gonna see some, like in a cover story. Maybe we're gonna just see her be like, just to kind of immobilize in a jail cell somewhere. I don't really know. We'll see. Like I wouldn't be mine, but more Black Maria. But that's pretty much it for her. So yeah, anyways, I hope you like this Inmate of Hell discussion. I hope you leave your thoughts on this and on your thoughts on Black Mirror in the comments below. Do you think she should come back? Should she not? Did you like her? Did you hate her? Do you think they should have done something more with her? Again, leave it all your thoughts in the comments below and be ready for tomorrow's video or at least next video because there's going to be something special I'm playing for it and for the future of the channel or in that matter. But yeah, anyways, I hope you like the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to this channel for more videos in the future. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of you mortals next time. Goodbye.